So I'm at a bit of a weird impasse here, just because I don't actually know who to go and see. You're out of the question, which leaves you and you. Now, normally, I feel I would go for Simon. However, she's at the lake. And that's where the spirit is, apparently. Well, that's where we first met him. So if I go this, I might have a chance of being Spirit Man. If I go here, it's just dude. Oh, fine, let's take the interesting road, why not? Oh, okay. She's not tasting something, she's humming. Yeah, alright, well, we can't all be talented, can we? Erin hums as she trots along the edge of the lake, a small collection of flowers in her arms. Her song wakes me up from my meditation as she slowly comes closer. Picking flowers? Lena, I didn't know you were up here. I get up from my seat beneath a large tree and dust off the grass. Well, I like it up here. It's peaceful and perfect for my training. Training, huh? You really take things seriously. It's all part of the job. I guess it is. Not being paid, unpaid work. Christ, we're like a Tesco's sort of like, not middle manager, we're talking like team leader. Hey, can you do all this stuff for no apparent reason and overtime we don't pay you? That's what this is. I feel I have a duty to work without pay. But yes, it's a lovely place, isn't it? I love coming up here. She makes a spin around herself with closed eyes and a smile. These flowers are for the inn, Miss Johansson asked me to bring some for her too. Oh, she's a lady running the bakery. She'll give us some bread in return. Sounds like it all works out nicely. I feel as if this place would... I know a currency exists, which is the weird thing, but it all seems to work via bartering. I'm slightly surprised there is money. Sounds like it all works out nicely. It does, although I admit having more actual customers would help. She scratches her cheek with an embarrassed laugh, running an inn in a town with no one passing through must be truly a challenging job. Still, Erin looks very happy in her current position. Why is it an inn? Everyone who comes here as well is given a room for free. Why don't they just turn it into a pub? It's so much easier. I've solved your problems, Erin. A pub. I'd go. Mind if I join you? On your walk, I mean. Please do, I don't mind the company. Oh, suddenly your fucking work obligations mean shit now. The only ones I ever run up into up here are Aran and Tobias, and they're both, well, you probably know by now. I walk beside Erin as she continues her stroll along the lake, picking out the best of the wildflowers in the area. It's a nice and relaxed moment. Wait. Rewind. And they're both, well, you probably know by now. Am I reading too far into that, or does that tell me that they're both spirits? I don't generally pick up on things like that, because I'm too busy playing it and commentating at the same time. Oh, well, she could just mean they're both absolute pillocks. I walk up beside Erin as she continues her stroll along the lake, picking out the best of the wildflowers in the area. It's a nice and relaxed moment. Oh, just like that. Fair enough, right, where's Simon? Oh, fuck. Chance of seeing Aran or Erin? No, Gavin's just not he's not even an option. Alright, we'll go to Simon next time. Do you get along well all the way up here? We get by, it's a small town after all, and everyone works so hard so it gets better each year. There are a couple of fields outside of town, and we even have a mill by the river. Then there are people like Tobias who go on hunts for us. We even get things from outside from time to time. You do? Yeah, our chief sometimes goes on long trips to the big cities and back to the mainland. And he brings back all sorts of things. That's why he isn't here right now, although I'm sure he would have liked meeting you. Oh, I'm sure. He appointed Tobias, didn't he? His second in command, or at least he's the head of the inn. He would not have liked us. He sounds like he cares for all of you. What if something happens? Oh, fuck me, I don't want to offend her. Christ. That one! You speak very fondly of him. He must be a good leader. Yes, he is. Oh my god, she's in love with him. He only has the best of us in mind. The best of you in mind, or the best for you in mind. Two different things. Only the most beautiful women will stay in my line, darling. And Renin wants this place to succeed. He was the founder after all and gave a home to everyone here. Do you want to show you around? Although I guess there isn't much left to show around at this point that you haven't already seen. Would have been helpful about a week ago. Since this town barely consists of more than one long main street and a few alleys and branch offs, it doesn't take long to get the general idea of the place. Things like the water mill I've only seen in the distance, though. How many live here? Only a little under 100 live in this town, I think. That hardly makes a whole town. Oh, but that's the name. Name? Town. The name of this village makes it seem more important in spite of its size, doesn't it? Is this when that American town, city, I don't remember, Hamilton, they tried to change their name to Hamilton ! Like, it's just, I've never heard of it before. And obviously they wanted more coverage and it worked because I've now heard of them, but never heard of it. Is this what this is doing? And they're even doing it unspectacularly as well. They're calling it town. There's no exclamation mark. There's no, oh, we're calling it right up in your bootay. They're saying nothing like that. It's just town. Oh dear. You make no sense. Who would call it that? I don't know. That's just what everyone said and it ended up that way. A sort of silent agreement. Can't you just say it has no name? That doesn't feel right. This is definitely town. Alright then, that's going to confuse the fuck out of people on a map. Oh, well, I'll just put neutral wankers, I'm sure it'll come up there. These people seriously need to come up with a proper name for their home. Is that all that was about? Just for a proper name for their sin? Oh, for fuck's sake. Just because I avoided Simon that one time, am I never going to get to see him again? Yeah, oh well, mountains it is. The mountains this time? Yeah, I don't get here often, but one of the townspeople who's been complaining about spotting a group of small predators here will patrol the place to make them feel safe again. Is that all? The creatures on this side are often stronger and more dangerous than the ones in the forest, but we rarely have real problems with them since... Since what? Aran. He says this as if it answers all questions. Aran, is he taking care of the monsters here? Is he their dad? Aran usually doesn't care about the town, but at least he does this much. They all must all respect him very much or fear him. The last sentence was said with a smirk. Sometimes I wonder what really is on his mind. Does it matter? Just concentrate on the task at hand. Tobias sounds annoyed. He really dislikes this kind of chatter on patrols, and it seems like it has only grown worse since Gavin suddenly decided to join us. As you command. I'm amazed Gavin still speaks to me. After everything that has happened, what do I know? We trek further into the rocky territory. I'm feeling a lot better, but in this rough terrain, I can feel that I still need to be very careful. I ascend a knee-high rock to gain higher ground, only to wince in pain as I strain the wound on my flank. You alright? Yes, I'm fine. Am I being stubborn again? He watches me for another few seconds as if considering my honesty, but then continues ahead. Doesn't even care. He's like, you're lying? Yeah, you're probably in pain. Oh, well, no pain, no gain, and just went on. There's no way I'm backing down in front of Tobias. That would only give him another reason to talk down to me, so I prepare to continue forwards, trying not to show any signs of weakness. You remember the last time we did this? Yeah, we got confronted by a boar. It's going to go terribly. That's when I notice it. Tobias also seems to have realised it at the same time as me, and Gavin reacts as he calls out a warning. From the cliffs just above us, two large lizards of a like that I have never seen before come slithering out. I instantly ready my sword and Gavin follows suit. Those certainly do look hostile. Sure, let's run with it. Tobias knits his brows and takes out his bow. Knits his brows? I don't know what that means. But still hesitates. The lizards have stopped and are now watching us closely, their tongues tasting the air. Wait and see what they do. Maybe they won't attack. As soon as you say something like that, you know perfectly well they're going to do it. Did I just accidentally press H? Yep, I did. My bad. Swoosh! Whoa! Gavin jumps back as one of the lizards opens its mouth, coughing out an oozing pool of acid. The ground sizzles on the spot where he was just standing. Lizards can spit out oozing pools of acid. And they learned how to do this, and we didn't. Should we be taking a vial with us, putting it in there, and then trying to run tests to see what's doing it? That'd be handy. Sup, Bose? An arrow whistles through the air and pierces the attacking lizard straight through the temple. It falls back with a hiss before its partner lunges forward. Alright, that's it. Gavin swings his sword once before setting off. The lizard rushing down the cliff doesn't even get to open its mouth before the blade is swung in a wide arc, separating its head from its body. We just killed it, just like that. The body twists before tumbling the rest of the way down. Gavin lets out a sigh. Well, that wasn't such a big deal. You can't keep saying stuff like this! You know fucking Mama Lizard's gonna come around now. The bodies of the salamanders are lying on the cliffs before us. Tobias lowers his bow and walks over to one of them to take a closer look. These were the ones you were warned about? Most likely, although it's strange something this small hasn't given us trouble from this side for a long time. Maybe we came across a couple of bad apples. He sheathes his sword and shrugs. Should we go? Yes, we should make sure there aren't any more around. Well, at least we're not ruling it out. As we walk higher up... we still appear to be in the same bit. I can suddenly feel the air around me grow more intense. I automatically stop and close my eyes for a second to concentrate on my surroundings. Again, we're going to have that dolphin radar. The amount of spiritual energy in the air is increasing the further we go. What kind of place is this? I'm surprised you noticed. I open my eyes again and see Tobias watching me from up ahead. Is this where Aaron lies? Being able to sense the spiritual energy in the air around you isn't something any normal person would be able to do, but my training has given me extra sensibility for these things. Still, the amount of energy that someone like me can perceive isn't all that great. It's not like what I've ever seen since we arrived at this town. Come a little further and you'll see. Can you make it up here? Oh my god. Was that just a whole sentence where he wasn't being a twat? Jesus. I nod. We continue a little further upwards through the uneven terrain. What the fuck is that? Is that Casper and friends flying around a rock? Soon after climbing a rocky ledge, we find ourselves entering something like a small vale in between the cliffs. The open space is round and not very large, and to add to the strange atmosphere of the place, a deep crevice runs through the right side of the vale, cutting it off. In the middle, next to the deep crack, is something I've never seen before. It's a huge rock, placed right in the middle near the furthest wall. Other smaller rocks and wispy bushes are gathered at its foundation, almost as if holding it up. Its rough surface is wavering behind something like a faint blue light flowing all around it. What is that? The strange aura surrounding the stone isn't strong, but just visible enough to make you aware of it. It's almost like looking at a magical Fata Morgana. How'd you not notice that? Sure, I reckon Stevie Wonder might not notice it. Ray Charles might have a bit of a problem as well, but to someone with, say, normal eyesight, I mean, even if you were colourblind, you'd notice it. And most animals would notice it as too. Who's not going to notice that? It's quite obvious. And it looks like the rock is smoking. That's what it is. It's just sitting there in its own superiority and smugness. That's why it likes Tobias. Got it. Got it. We're not sure. We call it the heart of the mountain. I walk closer to the stone, slowly reaching my hand out towards the strange blue light. The air around the stone feels heavy. This must be the home of the spirit. I know he resides somewhere around here. He? The spirit Aran. Gavin has also approached the stone and is now watching it close to me. I can tell that this is also the first time that he sees it. His expression is distant and I wonder what he's thinking. We're not going to ask. Yes, Aran. We usually leave this place alone. Somehow that seems like the best. Yes. Does it always look like this? Not always. Sometimes it's so weak that you would miss it if you didn't already know that it was there, and sometimes it shines a little stronger, but it usually just looks like what you see now. In the rare occasions where some monsters begin acting strange and aggressive, I often find that the stone is growing stronger than usual. It only happened a couple of times though, so I'm not so sure. Is Aran sending the monsters to us? Bastard. So that's why you went up here today. Yes, although it seems normal right now. You might want to see this. Gavin has climbed the cliff beside us and is calling down from above. It's not far and easily climbed, so I managed to reach him without problems. Tobias follows us right after. Look down there. My heart skips a beat as I scout down the mountainside as instructed. From here we have a good view of a path leading through the area further down. Is that me or is that a foot? If that's a foot, we're in some real shit right now.